Good evening. Is there anything left to say? I was just wondering because there has been a whole laundry list of competencies which have been talked about in different ways by different, colleagues, distinguished colleagues sitting here. I'll try to be within 5 minutes and just share some thoughts. And I am accepting the findings of Subrat's roundtable. It's not about yes and no, right? It's these competencies and so many more. So that's where I'm coming from when I'm making my basic points here. Everybody has talked about context. Yes, context provides the why. Why these competencies? Subrat has provided us the what. What competencies are required? Now my question is how? How are we going to get these competencies imbibed among the people, among the students? And it is at the how part that many times management schools fail. Conceptually, we are all very clear about what needs to be done, why it needs to be done, but the how part we fail. So before talking about the how part, I want to talk about what are the background attributes which contribute to these 5 that he has roundtables have brought out. For example, when we say ill-defined problem, managing ill-defined problems. Okay, you need to develop qualities like ambiguity tolerance. You need to develop qualities like thinking laterally. You need to develop competencies like connecting the dots. The foundation for all this, an alert, aware, highly intensely observing type of a mindset. So to deliver on a single competency of managing with the ill-defined problem, you need this set of underlying attributes. Trust is more than good IPR, more than good interpersonal relationships. It is about so many emotional intelligence competencies like consistency, dependability, reliability. Now, to teach these, I'll just take it a little further and then talk about how. Standing one's ground requires the cultivation of extensive homework, capacity for extensive homework, mobilizing logic and rationale, courage of your convictions, deep understanding without being swept away by whoever is talking in front of you. It is not about rigidity, it is not about close-mindedness, it is about resilience. And lastly, business understanding everybody has talked about, but I would like to give one sentence there. It is the surround sound to what an HR leader has to do. It is like the water in the fish tank where the fish is swimming, or it is the water in the ocean where the fish has to swim and survive. So to say that they have to learn about business understanding is a bit of a thing, because without that you don't exist. So that's one point I wanted to make. And emerging technologies, of course, that's the very obvious one, because whatever is emerging from World Economic Forum's writings and the forums themselves, where they talked about the emergence of the 4th industrial revolution. Obviously, I mean, emerging technologies are going to take center stage and people have to be prepared for that. But to my mind, I'm emphasizing again the importance of resilience and the importance of learnability, which means it's not an end state that I learned today and that's the end of it. How to continuously reinvent and co-evolve my capabilities along with the evolution of the markets and evolution of the organization. So, but there is one conundrum, and the conundrum is the high expectations we have from managers, and we are talking about management schools, and we are talking about these young people who are coming into these management schools with work experience or without work experience. A study tells me, and you may have observed it around you also, that adolescence extends up to the age of 25 today. not 16, not 18. Today it has gone up by a decade almost. What does it mean? What is the implication? That means we are dealing with a bunch of immature people who still need to be groomed and grounded into many of the qualities that we're talking about, whether it is resilience, whether it is developing, standing your ground, so on and so forth. Where does it come from? First of all, you need maturity. And along with that, when you see the millennials, millennials also have very, very super high expectations. So it is a bit of a challenge for all of us. Now, the last bit that I want to highlight, the how-to part of it. I will talk not about new electives, and probably there are not so many new electives in HR, because probably the next round is going to be HR and technology combination. So I'm not talking about that now. But I offer a course on leadership, have been doing it for a long time, but that's not the interesting part. The interesting part is, along with the course, students have to develop an entrepreneurial venture, which means they have to set up something, they have to run it, and they have to earn something. Now, in this process, they learn about a myriad of management related issues and concepts. And I think what they develop at the end of 3 months of this course, of course you can't offer it in the first year, you can offer it only in term 5 type of a thing, or term 6. They learn initiative, they learn to see the big picture, they learn the understanding of the entire business, interdepartmental linkages and interdependencies, supply chain, managing customers, handling unforeseen problems, managing results. So, through the power of just one assignment, we are able to, instill in the students a myriad of these qualities. And second thing I found is that we talk a lot about silos in the workplace. There are silos in management also, the way management education is delivered. In fact, probably the next big paradigm shift in management education itself has to be to move from this functional teaching to a matrix teaching. We've been talking about it, but it's not happening. It really needs to happen.